get it live right here. We got to get live, man. This is all about Lions today. I got to get live here in NFC North main event, Detroit Lions podcast. Boom.
Coming at you live.
We're coming at you live. Yeah, and I don't want them to not hear this nugget while I'm getting the show ready.
Can you name that band? Name that artist?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Coming at you live.
No.
Coming at you live.
No.
It's all the first song on the first record by Tesla.
All right.
Mechanical Resonance.
Yeah, get them Lion of the Week. Cast your vote, because it ain't going to be our decision. We know who we like.
Super Bowl or bust, Donkey Kong.
Let's get it done. Yeah, what we were talking about was the Jameson Williams, and this is something I'm only going to put this out there, is that Jameson Williams is going to have a breakout game before the end of the season. And that's really what I'm saying with this. But make a one bet and split it up three ways. Let's say if you want to bet, let's just say $30, right? Take $10 a week and put it down and parlay this. Jameson Williams over 80 yards. Jameson Williams anytime touchdown. Now, I was checking that out with Grove Teague last night, and that is like plus 1,800. I'll say it again. That's like plus 1,800 when you added those guys. I don't know what that is now, but go look at that. Try to parlay those. Find the good odds. You bet that 3 times by the end of the year, because he is going to have a breakout game by the end of the year. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Rap to rap.
Yeah, you gotta like that, huh? Good morning, everybody. Yeah, we're doing this. Donkey Kong, Super Bowl or bust? You were really serious about that. Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning, Fred. I love seeing these same names in here. I love knowing that you guys make us part of your morning. Good morning, Brent. Good morning, Jordan. Jeffrey is present and accounted for. Oh, yeah. Look at that right there. Fresh with my this is old school Forte. This is a Forte hat right there that I'm wearing on here today. Welcome one and welcome all to Football Talk with Russell Wayne. We are broadcasting live right here into the Detroit Lions news. Let me go find all my stuff right here. The Detroit Lions news, thank you for allowing us to broadcast in there. The Detroit Lions villain squad, we're over 12,000 villains, and we're approaching 13,000 villains. And with Chauncey Gardner coming back, that seems pretty cool to me. We're also broadcasting live into Mike the Bear Fan. Good morning, Chicago. Good morning, Chicago. And you know why? Because it is time to talk Lions. This is a Lions show today on Wednesday because it's War Week, and I am here, Russell Wayne, with my compadre, Main Event Mike. How are you doing?
Shut up to my little friend.
All Lions Wednesday, buddy. One pride.
That's right. That's right. Lions talk, War Week. Here we go. Good morning to all my Lions people that are out there. And I already had a vote in here. I knew that when I put that thing up there, Mike, that somebody would pick somebody that wasn't on the picture. So as we're going into these Lions of the week, I saw somebody put in there for our guy, our shout out guy, Ifatu Melifanu, got a vote, and he deserves it too. He
deserves it. He deserves a nomination and definitely an honorable mention. You got to look at a guy that's a Brad Holmes draft pick, third round, maligned, injured a lot in his first couple seasons, gets a chance to start and shows out big, strip sack. Ooh, I love that nomination.
And you know why? When we were looking at this guy in the draft process, it was the length. And this was actually the third round pick. This is the end of the compensatory pick from the LA Rams to
Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford trade. So this is
the gift that keeps on giving.
The gift that keeps on giving, man. And get your votes in there. I mean, all of these guys, let's go from left to right. Now, I'm putting an honorable mention because I don't think Ragnow would win this award, but the Lions offense without Frank Ragnow is almost directly responsible for two out of the 4 losses, because the team is just not the same without one Frank the Tank Ragnow. The offense just seems to run so efficiently through it. Number 1 in the NFL while those guys are out there in the 4 games, and the stats are unbelievable when he is out there as the head of that defense. So there's the honorable mention right there. But put your vote in for Frank the Tank right there. You put it into the comments. Just one word for the person that you want to vote for as Lion of the Week. And there's so many of them, Mike. I couldn't even fit them all in the damn picture, because Ifatu Melifano definitely deserves to be on there. But so does Jahmyr Gibbs. Talk about Jahmyr Gibbs, Mike.
I want to talk about Frank Ragnow. You didn't give me a chance on that one. Frank the Tank, I was watching Dan Campbell's press conference. I was a day late behind everyone else when it came out. And the way he talked about Frank Ragnow was really amazing to me. Last week, this guy had meniscus surgery on his knee. When he went out, he went out of the game 2 weeks ago, he went and had surgery on that knee. I did not know that until just yesterday. So, this guy's ready to play. And when the reporters asked Dan Campbell, how, is this guy be ready? He goes, well, that's just who this guy is, right? This is why. And the way he talked about Frank Ragnow, how the players just respect him, how he is a mind over matter guy, it was an incredible snippet of that press conference in that stretch when he was talking about Frank Ragnow. And it dawned on me, this guy, Russ, is going to be a Lion for life. He's got the terrible toe injury, which tears from the ball of his foot, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's already been repaired. It's never going to get better. He's probably going to hobble the rest of his life because of what he's doing right now, okay? And we drafted this guy. He's made multiple Pro Bowls. If he gets a Super Bowl trophy, you could be talking about gold jacket Frank Ragnow. And he's going to be a guy like Spielman who moves into the front office. He's going to be a part of this team forever, because you even heard Dan Campbell say that's one of our guys right there. That's our guy. So Frank Ragnow, I don't know if he gets Player of the Week, but he might get Player of the Decade in a Lions uniform, in my opinion.
Right. And I just thought that it was very important to put him in there because of everything that you're saying right there, of how they feel about him. And I remember a lot of the opposing team fans telling us, Frank the Tank's going to be done in 6 weeks. And it turns out like he doesn't need to run a 40. Okay. Like he can just, they say that you can just play through that injury, but the fact that he would just do it because he wants to win so bad. They said that he was more afraid of letting his teammates down than to have to want to will himself through the pain. So I love that about Frank the Tank. Let me see what we got in here in the comments here. See if we have anybody saying anything about Frank the Tank. No, we didn't get anything from Frank, but that's why we need to say something, okay? Because that's something that people don't talk about, the offensive lineman, enough. And you know what it did? It paved the way for the second guy we're going to talk about on this list, which is Jahmyr Gibbs. This is a budding superstar, and what Dan Campbell had said in, was it this one right here? Well, this is still a good quote right there.
That's not it. That's not it. But you were saying how the Brad Holmes took some heat for those 2 picks.
Absolutely.
Is that what you're going? Yeah, where you're going? Right.
Yep.
And how do you talk about Jahmyr Gibbs? I'm so glad we prefaced it with Frank Ragnow. Jahmyr Gibbs averaged 9.1 yards per carry. Okay. Yeah, the kid's good, but let's face it, that offensive line was amazing against Denver. And Gibbs, hey, Brad Holmes does it again. What do you have? 2 touchdowns? Did he have 2? No, he had 1 touchdown. He had 1 touchdown, 111 yards. A 9.1 yard per carry average. The kid's just showing out. The game looks like it's starting to slow down for him. But we did notice in the first few weeks of his career, he'd get caught by the ankle. They'd get him right there by the jersey. And we just, and he was that close to busting one off even back then. And you and I were like, oh boy, you could see it. And that's exactly what we see happening here now. Routinely, he's busting off 20-yard runs in every game. So great to see. If they can get this defense stouted up for the playoffs, this team could beat anybody. It's the offensive line. This offensive line is the real star of the show. We knew it coming into the year. And what did we say? When the later weeks of the season come and that offensive line's done wore you out by the third quarter. And we saw that in that last game play itself out just like that. Hopefully with Minnesota, we can see the same thing moving forward. But Jahmyr Gibbs, hey, he's a stud.
Yep, you got Jahmyr Gibbs on that. I mean, every time he touches the ball, it's like electric. And by the way, his touchdown was a reception out of the slot. So what this guy can do, and he offers your offense to where you have another just dynamic player that you can throw anywhere on the field. You can line up anywhere. You can keep him out there with Montgomery if you need another playmaker, which we don't, because we have so many of the damn playmakers. But yeah, I can't say enough about Gibbs. What a great pick at 12th overall. They told us that when they were criticizing the pick. It's like, look, we're going to get into the middle of the season. You guys are going to like this guy. Okay. So, and here we are. We like this guy. And then St. Brown. St. Brown deserves to be in this conversation just because, having over another 100-yard game, and all St. Brown does is catch important balls. Like it isn't even just a matter of him getting, 100 yards receiving and a touchdown, right? It's a matter of, catching these third down dimes that go in there, extending drives, catches that hurt you. It's not just getting a reception, but it's getting a reception that hurts the other team. Talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown.
The most steady Lion, the greatest 4th-round pick ever, maybe the greatest 4th-round pick ever. Yep. This is another guy. This is a foundational piece of the Detroit Lions, and he's so young and so hungry and driven. That's what I love most about Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's out there trying harder than everyone. Every down, every play. That's what I love the most about him. Hey, what can you say about Amon-Ra? 7 catches, 112 yards and a touchdown, a pedestrian day for this guy, right? I mean, this is a normal stat line for Amon-Ra St. Brown. So, yeah, man, just gushing about it. I love Wednesdays these days.
And I love that we got the gush over these 3 players, which I do believe that are just going to be supporting cast. And really, here's where I think that the money's going to be made right here is on these next 2. It's a toss-up for me, personally. I still don't even know who I'm going to vote for between these last 2 guys, but we're going to start with one, Jared Thomas, Michael W. Smith Goff. And 5 touchdown passes. 5 touchdown passes. Everybody who's been crapping on this guy for the last 3 weeks because he's had down, rightfully so. You got to criticize your quarterback when he's down, but then just pretending like he's just this piece of trash. We can't wait to get him out of here. Let's trade for Stafford. Let's bring in Hendon Hooker. Let's bring in Teddy Bridgewater to 5 touchdowns. What do you got to say about that, Mike?
I love the order that you put this in. Ragnow, Gibbs, St. Brown, Goff, because that is how it is done in the game. That run softens up the defense. And then you hit Amon-Ra on every 3rd damn down because he's going to be open because you've just softened him up. They've got to respect the run when Monty's running 5 yards a carry and Gibbs is averaging 9. That tells you the story right there. Jared Goff got protection. That's why Jared Goff had the stat line he did, 24 of 34 for 5 touchdowns, 278 yards, passer rating 134.6, because he was clean in the pocket. He got the game ball from Dan Campbell. When you have a stat line like that, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, you're going to get the game ball. Okay, you're the quarterback. But for Lion of the Week, he might be the front runner because he is a quarterback, and you can't deny a stat line like that and not give him every award that goes to it, because you're the quarterback. Because when your team was losing, you took all the shit. You took all the heat.
Yep.
So now this comes with it. You get stupid talk show, talking heads, internet knuckleheads giving you their award. So Jared Goff's got to be, for me, Lion of the Week.
Yep. I'm gonna have to agree with you before I go in and talk about this stud tight end. We're just gonna talk about him off of that, but he is gonna get my vote. So from the villain squad, just from the we very rarely agree on stuff, but I mean, having the guy having the entire city and the outside media take a giant dump on his play over the last 6 weeks, and then have him come out and show out like that. That's like comeback. And it might have to do with all these other players. You can give credit to all of these other players for making Goff look good. But the bottom line is he's a distributor, and he's out there distributing the ball, and he's doing the distributing thing at an elite level. An elite distributor in this league is one Jared Thomas Michael W. Smith Goff. As we go into Sam Laporta, and you have a couple good posts out there, just the 2 words you had, Sam La Scorta, like as he scores, and then today it was, what was the one he put up today?
Sam La All Prota. All Prota.
And I think that he is. This is a situation where, I mean, I think he's right in the running for that offensive rookie of the year, even though everyone says it's CJ Stroud. But if he's missing games and everything, Sam Laporta isn't just the best rookie tight end in the NFL. He might be the best tight end in the NFL. And I'm not maybe that's too cocky. Maybe, but you can't deny that he's not a top 5 tight end. He's a top 5 tight end in the NFL. Period. Top 5 tight end in the NFL. It reminds me of Sauce Gardner from last year, because, I mean, Aiden Hutchinson had a hell of a rookie year, and he deserved to be in that discussion for defensive rookie of the year. But Sauce Gardner was not only the best cornerback, but he might have been a best rookie cornerback, but he might have been the best cornerback, period. All pro. So when he's an all pro, then how can you take that award away from him? Well, I think that's where we're at with Sam Laporta. He's going to be one of the best tight ends. He might be a top 3 tight end. He might be the best tight end when it's all said and done. And if he breaks all of those rookie records that they've been throwing out there, and they've been captioning every week, receptions, yards, and TDs and all that, then you definitely have to consider him for offensive rookie of the year. I mean, if he break all the records, like, what are you going to say about that? I mean,
again, quarterbacks rule. It's all about
right.
Quarterback play. And CJ Stroud, it would be if CJ Stroud continues and he makes the playoffs, if he wins his division, they could win the division, Houston.
Right.
They rallied and won last week on a backup quarterback. Whoa. This team, Houston Texans, are dangerous. And if CJ Stroud wins his division, you got to give it to the quarterback. I like Elise Memes. She votes here for Sam Laporta Lion of the Week.
It's a great vote. I mean, what are you going to really?
3 touchdowns, Russ.
I mean, what are you going to look at this list of people? It's like, here's the other guys. Frank Ragnow is a stud, but like Gibbs and St. Brown, you look at their performances, it's like, you only had a touchdown. Goff and Laporta are like, 5, 3. So it's like they kind of get eliminated by default right there. And even though they had great games, These guys had all of them had great games. We've never even had a Lion of the Week, and we decided to do this on a weekly basis on a week where like every Lion player played good. I even saw a vote for Ifatu Melifanu in there. Honestly, he deserves it too. We didn't even talk about the defensive side of the ball.
Josh Pascal playing the 3 technique.
Woo!
2 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 3 total tackles. Hey, that's showing up. That's Aleem McNeil production.
That's better than Aleem McNeil production.
Yeah, Aleem been stepping up his game, having a career year. It's about what he was doing.
Is this a
3
good
tackles a
problem
game and getting a sack here and there?
Is this a good problem to have? I mean, like the fact that well, I know Aleem was doing good. It's like, well, yeah, but the guy that came in did even better. And that's not bad. I'm not saying that's not, and Aleem sucks. No, it's wow. When Aleem comes back, that's going to be a pretty devastating middle of the defense right there with those guys rotating in or maybe being right next to each other. That's kind of cool. But good morning to everybody, all the Lions fans. This is Lions Talk Wednesday right here. My name is Russell Wayne, and my compadre right here, Main Event Mike. We talk football every day, every single day at 11 a.m. We come out here, we talk a little bit of football. Yeah, we're talking about these guys. We're going to go over there to Minneapolis. We're going to go take care of a couple things. But before we do that, Mike posed a question, and it's something we go back and forth with on a scale of 1 to 10. And by the way, get your votes in. We're going to tally them up. Mike's going to be counting them up here, and we're going to see who we're going to give the award to this week, and we'll put a nice little post of it as we're going into it. But as we're transitioning into this new thing is that, the Green Bay Packers are out. We can laugh. Ha, ha, ha. You guys didn't make the play. Or you may make the playoffs, but you're definitely not going to win the division. But Jordan Love has shown some promise. He's been out there. He's been slinging it around a little bit. Looks like he's got some skill in the arm. So on a scale of 1 to 10, with the way the Green Bay Packers are constructed and how they're moving forward with Jordan Love, how scared are you of Jordan Love on a scale of 1 to 10? I love scale of 1 to 10, Mike. You can go ahead and start.
This one I have to go out on a limb because, I have a history. There's like wanted posters of me in the Packer groups. So I'm going to come right out and say it, and they can use this against me. They can soundbite it because I'm just going to tell you how I feel. I think it's a 10. I think I am sold on Jordan Love. Okay. I wasn't sold on Aaron Rodgers, but I didn't eat, breathe, and sleep football back then the way I do now. And I'm going to tell you, the kid's smooth. I've been saying it all last month. I've been saying this kid looks good. I mean, in 2 years from now, we could be talking about a dominant player in the league with the skill set that he has. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's been some bad moments. This is rookie year, essentially. I know everybody gets all their panties in a bunch when I say, oh, no, he's not a rookie. But he's a first-time starter, okay? And there are growing pains, and he's already won more games than Aaron Rodgers if he wins one more. And, yeah, it's a 10. This kid's going to be for real. You mark my words. The Lions and the Pack are going to be slugging it out for the next 10 years if Hendon Hooker's even half as good as we think.
Yeah.
Acknowledge me.
I like that call. And what do you think out there? Because Mike says that he's really scared of Jordan Love, and on a scale, a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, Brian is one of the few people in the world that agrees with me. Thank you, Brian.
I don't know. I think that you got quite a few agree people because I'm going to answer it like this. At the beginning of the season, I was about a 2. Like I'm watching it. And I'm watching this guy. I mean, I'm even going as far as saying that he was a bad quarterback. Now, I am willing to concede that he is not a bad quarterback. I can go there.
It's my quarterback.
But I wrote a song about it.
Love is as bad as fields.
Blow, pack, blow.
Pack, blow, and we may even come up with a whole freaking album.
I didn't mean to derail you, bro. You started at a 2, and now where are you?
All right. Well, I am a little bit more scared. I'm going to move it up to about a 6 at this point in time, and that's fine. And it's because of everything that you just kind of brushed over like it ain't no big deal. He does show some promise, and I don't give him the pass of this is his 4th year in the league, guys. Like, he's been behind watching these, and he's had game experience through all of that, and now he's been playing in his first season. I'll give you that for a couple games to get your feet wet, but you've been practicing against an NFL defense for the last 4 years, and you got to go out there and put it into the work. You don't get a whole season, my friend, and you have shown promise in that. So I'll put it at a 6, just because I think that the Lions are building a juggernaut, and even if he's really, really good, let's just say that he comes in and he is a top 15, top 10 epsilon quarterback, I still think we're going to whoop him. I think that that's how good the franchise is. I mean, look at this. We had 5 of these guys. I'm glad that you have a quarterback, but we got stud players all over the place that are just young and just starting. So I put it at about a 6 right there.
Okay.
And he did get us good. He did get us.
Let's break it down, Russ. What are Jordan Love's inefficiencies, his deficiencies? What are they? He sails balls over the head. He forces things in. These are fixable things. The things that aren't fixable, he's got in spades, bro. Natural, beautiful thrower of the ball, different arm angles. These are the things you don't teach. Athletic ability. He seems to be smart and very competitive, but yet very even keel. Never see him throwing a tantrum ever. These are the things you can't coach. And he's got these things down, bro. All the things that are wrong with him are going to straighten themselves out through more reps, right? As the game slows down for him more and he gets more and more reps, he is going to refine these things and be a bitch. Well, okay. Odds are the quarterbacks that wash out in the league don't have the things that he has. That's why they wash out.
But when you look at how he, I mean, you remember how we were talking about this earlier? Jordan Love is coming off a pretty good streak of nice play that was followed by looks like defenses are starting to figure out what he's doing, and they're able to stop him. And you're able to stop him with the New York Giants. I mean, I'm sorry, man. To me, the jury's out. I ain't going to there's no way I'm going to press a panic button of 10, but that's fine. That's cool. I see the things that you see. He does. I mean, he looks slick coming out of that pocket with some of that sidearm stuff and the shimmy, but so does Justin Fields. I seen Justin Fields make a couple throws with the little sidearm through that.
Look. You're that. Okay. I painted it with a broad brush, and you're running with that. That's fine. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. He looks like a pro quarterback.
Recency bias. That's what I feel right there, and that's fine. We're gonna agree to disagree on Jordan Love at this point. And actually, I did give him some more credit. He went from bad to where I think that he's a decent quarterback in this league, but something to be scared of, like a Mahomes or something like that, that's just going to change games. I ain't seen that in him at all, ever. So, do you want to move on, or do you want to keep on?
Let's roll.
Yeah, let's roll. Let's move. How many and here we go. And this actually leads in well. How many division titles do you think the Lions will win in the next 10 years? And by the way, this is not a foregone conclusion that the Lions win this year. They could lose out, and the Vikings could win out, and they would still have the division. So that is included into this question. I mean, you can include the one you can think they're going to win this year, which I think that they will. But how many division titles do you think the Lions will win in the next 10 years? Go ahead, Michael.
I'm going to say 5. I'm going to say 5 because of the way that Brad Holmes has this team set up and the way he has the salary cap set up and the culture that he's built where players want to stay here. So that's going to make them amiable to signing. They're going to be copacetic. They're going to be agreeable to stay here. Now, if it's provided they live in a good neighborhood in Detroit, all this, how they like the city, obviously all that factors in, wanting to be close to mom, all that stuff is there. But at its core, players they want to come here and play for Coach Campbell. And and Brad Holmes is such a straight shooter. Who wouldn't like working for that guy? I'd work for that guy, and I wouldn't work for just anyone. Let me tell you that. So yeah, 5. I think 5 is easy to say that we're going to win 5 titles in the next 10 years.
That's easy. Wow. That's crazy for you to say that, because that we've never won any of any titles in like ever.
30
like,
years. 30 years.
Like
been 30 years.
30 years since we won the Central. and you're like, I can say that easy. We're going to win 5 of the next 10. You're like, wow. But I agree with you. And I'm not going to go 5. I think we're going to win 7 out of the next 10. I think that the Lions are about ready to go into a dominating fashion right here. I don't care. I can be wrong, and then I'll just be wrong.
You're a homer.
I am a absolute homer on this team, and I have a good reason to be a homer on this team. All these other teams have hope. They got some of the hopium going. They're hoping that some of their players are going to be good. And we went through that last year. We were hoping some of our players were going to be good. Well, this year we got confirmation on some of our young players. And not only do we have a great core, but I mean, this team's going to be deep, and half of these guys are still on rookie deals. So,
so you got 7. I got 5. 7. Let me read some of these comments here.
Let's hit it.
Dwayne says, I say 4, hopefully more. Brian says 4 because the others are building very good too. That's a great point, Brian.
Sure.
The other teams in this division are definitely looking set up for the future, which was one of our topics on the morning show. Oh, but that's right. We are on our Monday night show. Oh, that's right. We have a Monday night show. It's 7 p.m. Eastern time, and it's called the NFC North Open Mic on Monday nights. You're watching Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. every weekday morning, broadcasting live into Facebook and YouTube, which is at Main Event 365. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Main Event 365. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Good job, Mike. You do good. You do a better job at paying the bills than I do when it comes to all that stuff right there.
I have an Emmy nomination on the wall, my friend.
That's right. It's there. It's there. And I like that point that they are building, and I tried to make sure that I put that in there. I think that they are building, but it's like, that's hopium. I remember being like that and having a guy, oh yeah, we got things in the future that haven't materialized yet that you need to worry about, right? Where we've never really had this like core foundation of a bunch of players. Like, we don't need to look for a tight end. We don't need to look for a running back anymore. You know what I mean? We haven't had these kind of feelings in Detroit. Our offensive line is very well set in the starting 5, so you can draft depth players at this point. Like, we've never been in this spot to where, but yet neither has Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes has built this thing from the studs, and it is a beautiful thing right now. But there's another level to GMing here, is can you sustain it? And I'm going out on that limb. I'm going to say I think that they will win 7 titles starting with this year, and I don't think we're giving this North back for a minute. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to be like that. I like what Jordan Love is doing, but you never know. You never know on some of these players. They got some aging players on the defense that won't be there forever, but you never know. Mm-hmm. They seem to be able to lock and reload. They got a young player, bunch of young players on that defense that are really good. But did they get exposed this week? Mm-hmm. You know, that Valentine, those players that you guys were counting on for 3 weeks are all of a sudden not playing so good. Does that mean that they're bad players, or will they come back? So there's a lot of questions that have got to be answered in there.
Check out this comment from Brent. We have a dynasty going on. I say 8. Woo! Brad Holmes can get a first-round pick out of a third-round pick. What a good call that is.
They are who we thought they were.
That gets 2 Kirk Cousins.
You like that? You like that?
All right.
I love that. So, keep the comments rolling, too.
Keep it coming, baby. And but I do want to say, Russ, there is a topic that I've been just dying to talk about today. And you're all Jackson here is segued it for us very nicely. Do I get my Christmas Eve gift on Sunday? Detroit Lions win the NFC North. Are we going to beat the Minnesota Vikings and win our first division title? Look, I don't want to count a chicken before it's hatched. Okay, let's talk about this. This is what everybody really wants to talk about, Russ. First time in 30 years and a chance to do it. And Dan Campbell said in his press conference, "This is a dangerous team now. Look, man,
Very
this is a dangerous team now. We're gonna lose past these guys. We got to take care of business. We got to go in there and do what we got to do."
So,
right?
Yep, exactly. So I was thinking about this, and I want to break this down. Keys, the keys being to the next one we're going to break down.
No, that was it. Keys to winning against the Vikings. Let's talk about that,
keys
buddy.
to winning, but then but there's the most intriguing matchups we're going to get into. But I want to do that a little bit differently because I want to break it up. Offense, defense. And maybe even like skill positions versus certain things, and go into each one of the groups and find intriguing matchups. But what do the Lions have to do to win on Sunday? I like starting with you and asking the question, and then I'll follow up with you.
Well, let's take a look here. Let's find out what weaknesses these Minnesota Vikings have. We know that throughout the week, we usually have a lot of Viking fans in here, but I think people are starting to get the old all Lions Wednesday, and we're seeing mostly Lions fans in here on Wednesday.
Good.
Which may be counterintuitive to trying to be a successful show. We want to cast a wider net, but we love the Lions, man. And sometimes we it's hard to not be a homer the rest of the week. Today's the day we get to homer out. So let's take a look real quick what the Minnesota Vikings present. They present the 7th ranked defense in the league. Okay. And our offense is ranked 5th. So you're looking at the strengths there, right? On offense, Minnesota is ranked 21st. And on defense, the Lions are ranked 23rd. So the picture becomes even more clear. Explosive offense against a really tough defense, a blitzing defense. So what? They blitz more than any team, 46% of the time that blitz. That's unheard of. That's a record, folks.
Yep.
If that holds up to the end of the season, that is a record. I think it's by 2% or something. It's a record. Most blitzes. And how do you beat the blitz? Quick passes, right? Mm-hmm. Screen passes, tight end play. Tight end is the blitz killer. We have a bevy of tight ends. So I think the keys to winning is neutralize Brian Flores blitz, because you could see here in the stats, their rank on offense, they just aren't powerful enough to score on us enough. They're at home. If we can outscore them, we win the game.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, obviously, if you outscore them, you win the game. But I guess that was a terrible take. Home of the terrible takes. If we're more explosive on offense and we can limit the damage they can do on defense, we can beat this team. Don't turn the ball over, right? That's the key. Dan Campbell would tell you it's that.
All right, keys to winning. What do you got? Throw it in the comments. What do you think that the keys to winning for the Lions would be? And I think Mike hit the nail right on the head right there. This is the most blitzing team in the NFL. And over the last 2 games, it seems like that blitzing has been kind of figured out, and the teams have been doing a lot better against that over the last 2 games against the Vikings. And that just has to do with they don't have a lot of talent on defense. So it's like they're within the scheme, Brian Flores has had them playing way above their heads because he is an excellent defensive coordinator, but they don't have the horses to continue doing what they're doing. And the Lions are one of the best teams against the blitz, especially when you have Frank the Tank out there and the offensive line picking up those blitz. The numbers were ridiculous last week when the Broncos blitzed him. I think Goff had like 130 yards and 2 touchdown passes when they decided to send a blitz. So if Minnesota decides to keep that path of trajectory, I think that they're going to get eaten up alive with our offense. They haven't done that against really, really good offenses with that. And I also believe that our defense turned a corner against the Denver Broncos. And that Minnesota offense, they do have some playmakers, but I think they're going to give Nick Mullins fits all day long. They're not going to be able to move the ball against our defense, but we'll see. You got Justin Jefferson, you got Jordan Addison, you got TJ Hawkinson, you got the skill players to get this thing done. So it's a matter of can we get past their offensive line to get pressure and to force Nick Mullins into being Nick Mullins, a backup quarterback. That's the keys.
That's a great call. We have some really good comments in here, Russ. Fred says, I think the Vikings defense is better than the Lions, but think the Lions offense is better than the Vikings, which is just what we were saying. The key to this game is our defense needs to stop them from scoring. And check out this comment. This comment here is phenomenal from Tommy Olson. Thank you, Tommy. He's basically wrapped up this whole segment for us, Russ. We could probably move on after this comment. Right. Don't overcomplicate it. All the Lions need to do is play with an ultra high level of intensity, and they need to blitz like they did against the Broncos. Oh my God. Get a couple takeaways and don't give it up on It's a great call, Tommy. You're right. All those things, can't argue with anything. You're not saying that he's lying one bit.
No, that's it. So let's move on to the intriguing matchups, because this is where we are going to get really, really complicated.
And what did I tell you was going to be my most intriguing matchup? The guy you just put up on the screen, those two guys, and James Janella called it as well.
Yep.
Danielle Hunter versus Penei Sewell. Definitely, you called at the beginning of the year that Penei Sewell would be all pro this year.
Yep.
Hasn't missed a snap. I don't think he's missed a total snap. And he's the highest rated right tackle in the league.
By a mile, by the way.
Yeah, not even close. And like our viewer said, Danielle Hunter, 15 and a half sacks with 3 games to play. Okay, that's you're looking at this. This is a premier matchup here. It's the most intriguing matchup by far in this game.
Absolutely.
Because we talked about Jared Goff staying clean. We got to keep him clean, and we got to stop their defense from blowing us up. This matchup is what both of those things are all about.
And I should have put Taylor Decker in there too, because it may be a matchup between Hunter and Decker, but either way, here's the thing. It's like, I love those players, and they have been overperforming, but it's not Jared Goff that they need to worry about, because if they can get pressure on Goff, they're going to give him a hard time. It's our offensive line. And if Frank the Tank gets in there and is able to move people out of the way, I think that we're going to be able to run the ball down their throat. I think that we can move. Really, it's all that run blocking is so simple. It's such a simple move. And by the way, I wanted to make a comment on what you'd said earlier about but it's a shame that we don't have all these other fans in here. We got 45 people on that screen right now. We got 30 people on the YouTube. When we do Lions shows, we get way more people watching us.
But only 8 likes. But only 8 likes. Isn't that indicative of Lions fans? All those viewers and 8 likes. Hit the like button, people.
Yeah. So that's the point. The point is, we got a lot of Lions fans in here that don't know how to hit the like button, right? If you're
You're not
very
used
simple.
To it.
If you're watching the show and you're liking it, just reach down and hit the like button on the video. It's free. You can do that for us. It's free. And it makes us, it builds our egos up too. Yeah, maybe that's why they don't want to get our heads too big, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of the intriguing matchups that I wanted to bring up was our wide receiver core. Like, I don't even want to say Amon-Ra. I'm going to Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Laporta, and against their secondary. Like, their secondary, if there's any weakness on this,
Just awesome. I'm sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Go.
Something just dawned on me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
There's nothing that says that you're not paying attention to anything that I'm saying is like when you're reacting to something completely different.
No, you made me think of it. You just
really?
said it. Yeah, the Detroit Lions receivers and the secondary of Minnesota. Can you guess what I just thought of?
What?
Jamison Williams and Lewis Seen will get to face each other again.
What?
Now you get what my reaction was.
Wow.
Right?
Lewis Seen.
Because all last year, Lewis Seen was hurt.
Right.
So when J-Mo scored that touchdown on Minnesota, it was first touchdown, wasn't it? Was his first touchdown?
Yeah. Yep.
First Lewis Seen wasn't there. He didn't torch Lewis Seen like the good old days in college.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that is the intriguing matchup, but what I believe is going to be the matchup that's going to kill the Vikings in this game, which is going to blow it open. So I don't think they have an answer for our receiving core other than getting home. They have to get home with that pass rush and be able to disrupt what we're doing, because if they give us, if our offensive line has a good game, they're done. They have no chance unless they can get a pass rush. There's a variety of different ways that I think the Lions can win this game by either running the ball, but I don't think they have the secondary. Byron Murphy's been okay in there, but when teams get time and they can, run the offense, they've been able to score on the Minnesota Vikings.
Right.
So, most intriguing matchup. Let's get into these comments. Urel Jackson, difference maker on defense for the Lions. Win the last game. Ifeatu Melifonwu. I like that call because
It's my quarterback.
didn't Ifeatu really seal up that spot? It seemed like, remember 2 weeks ago when I was saying like, it seemed like the Lions were exposed on that mid to out route, that quarterbacks just kept on seeming to dump it right into that zone spot and be able to beat us for those 20, 25-yard gains.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you.
We saw Derek Carr do it. We saw Jameis Winston do it. We saw Jordan Love do it.
And we all attributed it, it's because he can move out of the pocket. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with our coverage and the way that they were doing it. And I told you that eventually Aaron Glenn's going to come into a spot where he's going to fix that, and they're going to try to do that, and it ain't going to work. And that was, fill in Ifeatu Melifonwu, that great coverage out there. They were trying to hit that deep pass. I think they hit it twice. Ifeatu had 2 pass breakups in those deep spots. And that's what you do in the NFL, folks. If you're getting beaten one way, it doesn't mean you're going to get beat that way forever. It means you got to go to the drawing board and figure out a way to attack the way that they're attacking you. Chess, baby. It's chess. This isn't a 1-game chess match. This is a 17-game chess match.
We got some really good comments here, Russ.
Keep them in.
We're going to destroy Nick Mullins. Look, our rushing defense is ranked 8th in the league. We are not easy to run on. Thanks for the comment, Shane. We are not easy to run on. Ty Chandler coming off his best game as a professional, 132 yards and another 25 yards from scrimmage in the passing game. So if we can take away the run and make Nick Mullins beat you and become one-dimensional, believe me, he's got the weapons to do it. He's got a good offensive line. All that is there for him to do it, but he's going to have to do it. So that's a great call there by Shane. I like this one from Henry too. I think the Lions will be the team to beat in the North in the next decade. Talking about what we were talking about, how many titles will you win? Ahmed says, let's go. CJ Gardner-Johnson back at practice today. Thank you, Ahmed. What a great call out that is. What a difference that could make. Now, we've asked this question all year long, and in the comments, we get this question all the time, Russ. When a player comes back from injury, do you think he'll play this week? And I've looked smart every week this year and said, no way. Look at how this team does it. They bring him along slow. Look, man, he might be in shape, but he's got to be in football shape. So it's like a standard that they have. We don't care. We're not desperate enough to put you in. We don't need you that badly right now. And they always let the guy wait a week. But
Yeah, but this
CJ
isn't-
Gardner Johnson, he might be
Yeah,
the exception to that
yeah.
rule because of the difference that he makes on the field and in the locker room. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to echo that. I mean, you took the words out of my mouth. This is not a 35-year-old guy that was eating pancakes and chips on his couch, coming in like, Bruce Irvin was, or like this other, the big defensive tackle that we did, the Tutu, whatever his name is.
Alu.
Alu.
Gesundheit.
This is Chauncey Gardner Johnson. This kid's he's in the prime of his life. He's worked his ass off. He's another one of those guys that's like Frank Ragnow, where this was an injury that's supposed to sideline you for the rest of the season. And he made it because he wants to prove who he is as Chauncey Gardner Johnson. He's got to get in there and he's got to make an impact on this Detroit Lions team, because he ran his mouth to all the Philadelphia Eagles fans saying this was a place that he wanted to come because he wanted to win. And that's, he wants to back up his mouth. So this was a clean tear of his pectoral muscle. They said they were able to seal that thing right back on, and it made the recovery time a lot shorter because it wasn't all wrecked up, and he worked his ass off. I mean, there's nothing other to say that dude is out there doing therapy 8 hours a day to make sure that he could get back for this football team. So I agree with Mike. I think that he will play some snaps this weekend. I don't think he's going to play like 50 snaps or something like that and be the starter back there. But I think that he will come in. He'll be running his mouth on the sideline, talking shit to all the other to the other team, and he'll be out there for some plays. He'll be out there.
Are you ready to shift gears here and field a comment from one of your wrestling nerds?
Yeah.
I wonder if that F on Russell's hat makes him the franchise Shane Douglas, the ECW heavyweight champion.
Wow.
Are you the franchise?
Not only is that not only like here's the things, like wrestling fans, it's like they're few and far between. So really, if I make a wrestling reference,
Acknowledge me.
even if it's current, most people don't know what it is.
As of now, Russell is known as the franchise.
I will take that, even though it's a Forte hat, but I'll take the franchise.
Yeah, Forte, really good band here in mid-Michigan. My good old friends Angela and her awesome husband. They put on an incredible show. If you ever get a chance to see them, Forte.
That's right.
Russ representing.
We're repping. But I guess I'm the franchise with that. That's cool. I like that. But you going back to Shane Douglas, ECW? Are you kidding me? That's wrestling. That's nerd for even all guys that watch wrestling. that's like deep. That's a deep cut right there. That's like a C side, not even a B side. On the third side, you got Shane Douglas representing ECW.
We got a bunch of Cowboys comments in here. Ural says, do you think we'll beat Dallas? And then Barry says, if the Bills can run it down their throats, we sure as hell can. But you know what? My take is, I don't even want to talk about the Bears, the Cowboys right now. I don't even want to talk about that. I don't even want to look ahead at all right now because the division title is so close. We can taste it, right? I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to jinx it. It's my PTSOL, my post-traumatic same old Lions. There's only 3 games left, and we haven't secured it yet.
But you know what cures PTSOL? Winning. Right
That's
there.
the only cure. And cowbell.
If Christopher Walken was here, wait a minute. Let's have Christopher Walken. We actually do have Christopher Walken. Hey, promote it.
It reminds me of a football show, Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life.
I guess it turns out that it could be good for your life if you are watching Football Talk with Russell Wayne each and every morning right here. And on Wednesday, we do go all Lions. And come on, YouTube. There's 32 of you on there now. Only 8 likes. Come on. This is what you do. Like, ooh, yeah.
Acknowledge me.
Macho Man Randy Savage jumps all the way to the top rope, brother. And he's looking down on that. Yeah, the subscribe button's down there in the middle of the ring. And the Macho Man drops the Macho Man elbow right down onto the subscribe button. Yeah, and it's snap into a Slim Jim right there. You dig it? Oh, Macho Man Randy Savage, brother. Yeah.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
I did. I went to snap into a.
You threw that in. I love it.
I had to. We're trying to get these people that you're watching it on YouTube. There's 31 of you right there on YouTube. You just got to go.
Well, check out this comment from you know, the fun and easy way to generate likes is to mention the name of anyone that likes the live stream. Oh, you know what? Duh. You get what he's saying there, right? Hey, thanks to John and Sally and Paul. Yeah. And then you say their name for the ones that liked it. And then the other people go, oh, I want to say my name too. And so they
okay. All right. So hey, let me help you out there. I get you, Ahmed, but there's no way to do that. No. You know what it shows up to for me? It says 8. So for the 8 people that have liked this video, we thank you, but I don't know what your name is.
but this goes back to what Elise said. We need a moderator. We need somebody behind. We need like a production assistant or somebody behind the scenes that's looking at that stuff and giving us a list of names. You know, like that guy that writes for Dan Miller and puts the little Post-it notes in front of him for who the player was that made the play. I want that guy's fucking job.
Well, let's go through it. Let's do that. We got Brian Stover's watching us on YouTube. So is Brent. So is Dwayne. No, Paul Jones, you're watching on Facebook. Elise is watching on Facebook. But thank you for putting your name in there, by the way. If you put your name in, then I can tell who you are on here. Michael's watching on Facebook. Let's see. Detroit Fan Man's watching on YouTube. He's probably already liked it. Taylor. Cut the details. Lions and Miami Super Bowl right there from Taylor. I don't know if Taylor's liked the stream yet, but that's a good comment right there. I don't know. I don't know about the Dolphins, but we'll see. We'll see. James right there could be the Lions and the Bears. I don't know if James has liked the broadcast yet. Taylor back in there again. Fred in the Zoe. In the Zoe podcast, yeah.
Zone.
In the zone?
But his name is Zoe.
Zoe.
In the zone.
And podcast. Okay.
He's a Vikings fan. He's a good one, too. He's a good Vikings
fan. It's a, hey.
Man, can you see the comments that I star?
Yes.
When I star them, you can see them? Oh, you just never read them. Okay.
Oh. Don't like mosquitoes, but I love me some bugs. I did throw this one up earlier, but that is a good comment right there.
That is a good one. I need you to explain this one to me.
What is wrestling?
This wrestling fan spine bustered the like button already. I have no. I'm sure you know what that means.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah, that's what the spine buster is what The Rock used to do to set up the people's elbow. So it's that move where he drives them into the ground, then he gets up.
Okay.
Does the people's eyebrow. Yeah.
Okay. This one's from Fred Peterson. This one gets comment of the week. We're about to reveal the Lion of the week, but this one gets comment of the week. Also sign up for Patreon. This is a great show. It's definitely worth $10 a month. Thank you so much for that comment, Fred. Appreciate that.
And by the way, through this whole thing, we're just sitting right here. We went from 8 to 24 likes. I appreciate you guys participating in our little like fest right there and helping us. We're trying to get this YouTube page out there. It's not doing as good as our villain squad, but at Main Event 365, we're broadcasting in there. And from what I can see, the chat looks a lot more fun on YouTube. So there you go. There you go. Each and every week, we are here daily doing NFC North Talk usually, but Wednesdays is our special day where we are talking all Lions, breaking down the game from last week. We've already done that. We did that earlier in the week, and then Here we get to do Lion of the Week. We're doing most intriguing matchups. So let's go back through and review, since it's 11:57, to kind of make it so you guys can throw your comments in here on these topics. But
Jared Goff got the most votes in the comments.
so there we go. It is War Week, and for our Lion of the Week, Jared Goff got the most. And this isn't a big surprise. I mean, you throw 5 touchdown passes. I mean, what are you going to say? So, congratulations to Jared Goff for winning the meaningless villain squad Lion of the Week award, because you did it, and you get to go
Villain of the Week.
Villain of the Week.
Villain of the Week.
Super Villain of the Week. You like
super
that?
Villains. If you want to be a super villain, let us know. We're looking for some people to help us out, donate their time. This thing's kind of getting too big for 2 people. So if you wanted to, just shoot us a message. Let us know.
So in reviewing, we got the Lion of the Week. We also asked if you are scared of Jordan Love on a scale of 1 to 10. How scared are you of one Jordan Love? See, when love hurts, that hurt can work both ways. It can hurt to love Jordan Love, or you could have Jordan Love hurt you. Either way, what's the scale? 1 to 10. Are you afraid of Jordan Love? Viking fans and Bear fans, you can absolutely answer that. How many division titles will the Lions win in the next 10 years? And that is not even saying they're going to win this division title. We do realize that it's not locked up yet, that the Minnesota Vikings still have a chance to win this division right here. So including this year, is it 0, or is it, however many over the next 10 years? 0 to 10. What is it? I have 7. Mike has 5. We have a lot of great votes that are in there. Actually, I wasn't even the highest one. Somebody put 8 in there. Holy smokes. Look at.
And I take it back. Steve might have the comment of the week right here. Browns versus Lions Super Bowl would be fun.
Have you
the Russell Wayne Bowl?
Have you been? Did you steal the information from my Madden franchise? My gosh, that's been my Madden Super Bowl for 10 years.
We call that the Russell Wayne
always
Bowl.
Work it out there. My whole family loves the Browns. I grew up watching the Browns, and so I live vicariously through them, and I'm a Lion. So in my Madden franchise, it's always AFC, NFC, hooking up Lions versus Browns, like the old 50s championship matches.
Fred says that would cause some rioting.
Hey, you're talking, I tell you what, with the Lions being good, if the Lions do stay good and they're relevant and they do win these, this is a football town. And as much as they've won with the Red Wings and they did with the Pistons a little bit, and the Tigers were winning, we love sports in Detroit, but there's nothing that would ignite this whole area of mid-Michigan, like having a successful football team. That would light this on fire. And Cleveland has some of the best football fans ever. They lost their damn franchise, had it stolen away from them by a billionaire douchebag named Art Modell. And there they are. They rebuilt the franchise back up from scratch, and the fans are still there. So kudos to the Cleveland Brown fans for having to endure the misogynist Deshaun Watson and the mistake by the lake. And they got a great defense, and they could absolutely win in that AFC because maybe they can prove me wrong, because offense wins championships, not defense.
I want to respond to this comment here from Steve. Wasn't there a great championship game between the Browns and Lions when Jim Brown played? Actually, in the 50s when Bobby Lane played, that was who the Lions were beating for the championships, were the Paul Brown Cleveland Browns. And then in the 60s, Jim Brown, they won titles before the Super Bowl, and they beat the Lions to win, I think, one of those. So, yeah, absolutely. But here's the caveat. That franchise is now the Baltimore Ravens. Okay. So that is where the haters get off saying that the Lions are the only franchise in the Super Bowl era that was around during the Super Bowl era to not even play in one, because this Cleveland Browns team that exists now is not the same franchise. So I don't think you can have it both ways. So no, the Browns and the Lions have never played for a championship. The Ravens and the Lions have played for championships in the 50s, right? Because you can't have it both ways. You can't tell me the Lions are the only Super Bowl era team that's existed during the Super Bowl that's never been appeared in one, and tell me that the Lions and the Browns played for championships. No.
That's funny that you bring that up, because you can actually bring that up, because when they did make the new Lions or the new Browns franchise, that was one of the topics of discussion, was that the Browns wanted their history back. That history did no longer belong to the Baltimore Ravens, that would be restored to the Cleveland Browns. And I think that was done, that this does count as the Lion or the Browns history and not the Baltimore Ravens. That's not even fair that they would count that history for the Baltimore Ravens, even though it was the same ownership. Screw your ownership. You guys wrote a check and exchanged hands. That was Cleveland's championships, not Baltimore's. They didn't win those in Baltimore. They don't say Baltimore Colts. They don't switch those around. They get the Baltimore Colts history. They don't get the they don't get the Cleveland history. They get the Baltimore Colts history. I think. I could be wrong on that. I'm not. I mean, we're the home of the bad takes, so we'll keep that in there. What were the keys to winning for the Lions on Sunday? That was another topic that we had in review. And the most intriguing matchups. I believe that it's going to be on that offensive defensive line. But what do you think? That's what we talked about today on the Lions Talk with Russell Wayne. You got any parting words, Mike?
Just a couple of comments that I really wanted to get to.
All right, let's get them.
Jeffrey said, all year long, Lions have kept their cards close to their chests. They let us see a little more every week. We will see the cards this weekend when we lock up the division. I love that call out. I also think that might include Jameson Williams. When it's hitting me now that the guy he torched in college, Lewis Cine, he's got that guy's number, buddy. So I love it. I love this comment from Joe. I like it live from San Diego. Rooting for the Lions. All right, man.
I love it.
Down there in SoCal.
Joe in SoCal. What time is it in SoCal? It's got to be like 8 a.m. there or something, or 9. What is it out? What time is it out
3 hours,
where you're at?
3 hour difference. Yeah. So it'd be 9:05 in the morning.
I think so. Could be. All right. Well,
that's it. We got a lot of other great comments. Thanks to everyone for commenting.
We'll throw it into the after call right here. This is what we do at the end right here. We're going to do a soft sign off here so we can get into the last call.
Yeah, got to give a shout out to Barry's comment here. Got to throw one out there to Fatty Patty for giving us a chance for a higher seed. Great win by the Seahawks. Absolutely.
So now that there's a question I want to hit you with right there. Speaking of the Matty Patty, which is now that Fatty Matty Patty is now the defensive coordinator for the
Eagles,
Philadelphia Eagles. Are you scared of the Eagles anymore? The Lions are better than the Eagles. If they have Matt Patricia, there ain't no way that Eagles team beats us. I'm going out on a limb with that, and I'm saying that. You are not going to beat the Lions with Matt freaking Patricia as your defensive coordinator. It's not happening. Stop it. Stop it. Man. That was your demise.
That would be true Lions fashion right there.
No, it wouldn't. It would not be true Lions fashion. Yeah, it would. It wouldn't. It would totally.
Thanks, Taylor, for the comment. Appreciate that.
Thank you for taking me back to my non-safe space with PTSOL. And in case you don't know what PTSOL, which is a registered trademark with a Main Event 365, all rights reserved, post-traumatic, same old Lions. That's that feeling you get in the pit of your stomach. What Mike just said right there. Oh yeah, Matt Patricia gets in there. Matt Patricia could beat us. That's PTSOL, guys.
No doubt.
That's PTSOL. And what you really should be saying is what I'm saying, which is, boy, did you guys ever screw up.
J Mommy says the Eagles' food budget's going to triple.
I grabbed that one post that you sent to me in the messenger, and that's coming out tonight at 6:00, where Matt Patricia's holding the Denny's sign.
He's holding the Denny's menu.
Oh, I gotta get that. Oh, gotta get that up here, man. Oh, jeez. You're making the show last longer, but I guess that's good. That's good. I gotta find that Denny's. Oh God.
You're watching Football Talk with Russell Wayne. It's on every weekday morning at 11 a.m., broadcasting live into Facebook. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is at Main Event 365. That's MANE, like a lion's mane, at Main Event 365 on YouTube. We're trying to pump that up. And don't forget, there's still a few days left for Christmas. If you're like me and you have a Capricorn birthday after Christmas, you can get them a gift after Christmas and just say, sorry, I'm late, but this is your Christmas and your birthday present. And you can go to NFL Shop and you can save an additional 25% off if you use the link that Russ has put in the description of this broadcast. NFLshop.com. We're an official marketing partner of NFL Shop. Get 25% off using our link.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Why don't you go ahead and plug the show, and I'm going to run the credits, and we're going to keep talking.
The other show, the Main Event Mike show. Oh, wait, we haven't gone with the official title change yet. It's the NFC North Open Mic Night every 7 p.m. Eastern on Monday nights. And hosted by yours truly, Main Event Mike, and produced by the maestro Russell Wayne. We bring all four fan bases in to talk a little smack, and it's not a safe space like it is here.
It's not a safe space. And this is faith, family, and football in that order. We do preach that out there. I'm not going to preach at you, but faith, family, and football. I put a shout out to my church over at NTC in Burton, Michigan, in the corner of Bristol and Belsey Road. We gave away 400 turkeys for Thanksgiving, and now we're doing the angel tree, giving gifts, Christmas gifts to needy kids. And you never know. You can't look at somebody out there and know whether they need a Christmas gift or not. You can't look at somebody and say, well, I can tell by looking at you that you're needy. So we're buying gifts, and I know that there's an incredible amount that has been bought, but there is a link in the description for the NTC gift. Just say that you're from the Villain Squad show or Main Event or whatever it's from, and we'll make sure that money goes to the angel tree giving. So faith comes first. Family and football, well, that's easy. That's the family and football, it gives us a reason to get together with our family and spend time with them. And it's in that order, that it is family and then football. Use football to build your relationships. Don't let football use you. So when you lose a game, don't be a dick. Be nice. Use football to spend time with your family. So may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again. Football Talk. Russell Wayne, mornings, 11 a.m. Let's do it.
What's up, y'all? This is Ifeatu Melifonwu, safety for the Detroit Lions. And I just want to take some time out to give a big shout out to Russell Wayne and Main Event Mike from the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. It's a fan page and a podcast. And I just want to say I appreciate the support of me and my team. And I encourage everyone to go check out their podcast and check out their fan page. Go Lions.
Oh my God, that's still one of my favorite plays right there, Mike.
What a play.
Woo.
Look at that.
Thank
And
you.
he's not elite. Yeah.
Yeah. All defensive ends.
Make that play.
All defensive ends do is and make interceptions and kick ass like that. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Good stuff. This was a great show. Thank you, everybody, for watching. What I like to do at this time, because StreamYard's pretty cool like this, is we are able to broadcast live into all these different spots. And if you didn't watch the show on YouTube, I'm going to give you an opportunity right now with a link in the comments right there. That is our YouTube channel, the live stream that you're watching right now, the YouTube version. Go over there and like and subscribe if you would right there, because StreamYard does give us an opportunity to share to all of those platforms at the same time in the comments, and that's why I like doing this last call right here. This is the after party.
Closing time.
Did you have any other comments in there that you saw, Mike, that you like?
I've been putting them up on the screen, just little shout outs and thank yous to all the people that are commenting. It's awesome.
Wow, I didn't know that. Did you say this one already? Bobby Lane didn't even play in the 1957 championship game. Is that true?
I think that is true. He had won the year like 3 years before that. Like, didn't we win 3 in a row? We won 3 in a row. So I think he missed that game and we still won it. That's right.
I love that food budget is going to triple. Oh man. Gosh, this is a fun show. We obviously love doing the Lions show the most. And it's really funny because we'd done the NFC North show for so long that we forgot that we had, that we were Lions fans, and we got called out by our own fan base. It's like, I know that you like talking about these other teams, but you're a Lions fan, so where's your Lions show? And I'm like, that's true. So I think Jeff said something about that, so thank you, Jeff, for that. And Detroit Rock City, baby. Are you done? As a Lion fan, Aaron Glenn has improved the defense. Is that myth?
That's a fact.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I know that the people were down on him.
It couldn't have got any worse. I mean, what he had to work with.
No, but the bottom line was a couple of weeks ago when the people were really complaining about him and they wanted him fired, which was complete nonsense to even suggest that, because he had improved the defense. And it was funny listening to him talk to the media about it, where he's like, yeah, we were the worst defense and now we're not. What did you say again? Like he's improving. He's using what he's got.
He's a first-time coordinator, Russ, and the players would run through fire for him. What else do you want? He's going to make some mistakes. You're building an incredible coach here.
Right.
He's just like the players need reps, the coaches need reps too. And he's took them from 3-13-1 to 9-8 to now 10-4, possibly more. What? I don't understand. This is not a pillow fight. This is the NFL. You're not going to win every game.
And this man right here, General Manager Brad Holmes, it's like he's invested into the offense. He's used the first 3 years and went more offense and defense. And that's well documented. I mean, like, he had to fill the roster of defense in that year one. They kept the offensive line intact. They drafted offensive line, and he had to use a lot of undrafted free agents, just rookies that didn't have as much experience. He built the team around that. And even the second year, I know you put a good defensive player in there in Aiden Hutchinson, but the team isn't done being built yet on the defensive side of the ball. I think they've completed the offense. I think Brad Holmes has got what he's really wanted on offense, so now it's going to be a matter of drafting depth players and and whatnot. But they've got what they want on offense from the skill.
Best center. Let's get the best center in the country. Frank Ragnow's replacement. Groom him. Make sure he's a guy who's versatile and can play multiple positions. Right.
Yep. Well, we got to replace Jonah Jackson first. If it's not with Jonah Jackson, they're going to have to replace that guard. Maybe they can get another guy that is versatile, that can play center in both guard positions. That's also possible. That looks like something that the Lions would look for. But going back to the Aaron Glenn thing is like he's had less to work with. He's had to develop his defense with no veterans, really. There hasn't been people that can show the ropes as people are coming in. All the veterans were on the offensive side of the ball. So he's building veterans. Aaron Glenn is building veterans. Like Aiden Hutchinson is going to be the veteran, right? He's going to be the guy that the people go to. Jack Campbell will end up being a veteran. Brian Branch will end up being the veteran. They're not getting, Sutton's good. I like bringing him in. He can teach people how to be pros. But Aaron Glenn has not had the elite guys to work with. Robin Tate was the backup.
Robin Tote. No, Tobin Rote.
I can't read, man. It's all
Tobin
small.
Rote was the backup after Bobby Lane broke his ankle December 8th. So Tobin Rote came in as the backup and won a championship for the Lions because Bobby Lane broke his ankle falling off of a bar stool. And no, I don't know about that part. But here's an interesting stat for you, Russ. Here's an interesting stat for you. Ready? Since Peyton Manning and Jeff Daniels filled a bathtub with liquor and broke the curse of Bobby Lane, the Detroit Lions are 18-6.
Wow.
Wow.
Good morning, Detroit. It's not good morning anymore. We just passed the noon hour. And you're listening to the Main Event 365 Network with Football Talk with Russell Wayne and my compadre, Main Event Mike, doing this morning thing.
What's up, Jerome? Tobin Rote. I bet spell check probably tried to change that on you 3 times. You and I said Robin Tote.
Yeah. Hey, good reading right there, Russ. Nice.
Jerome's in the 810 like us, bro. Flint, born and raised, cradle to grave, Jerome.
Let me do my impression right here of the complainers. The complainers don't actually admit that they were wrong. They tell you, this is exactly what I said that it was going to be. All Aaron Glenn needed to do was blitz more. All Aaron Glenn needed to do was listen to me while on my couch. I'm glad that he listened to my messages last week. And he's actually listening and calling the games in the way that I have told him to. I could fix it, and I have. So I'm glad that our complainers are out there and we got them.
Oh my God. Just fire Aaron Glenn.
And what about the guy on the left-hand side? That's me. Where it's like,
What are you doing making fun of the Lions? You gotta make fun of the Lions? It's so good. Oh my God, they're gonna be airplane.
And then you got Scotty Whitcomb in the middle.
Scotty Wickham in the middle. Doesn't matter what they do. They're just waiting. They're like Gollum. They're like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. And they're holding on to their little precious.
They'll never be good. They'll never be good. Never. I'll never give it up.
But they don't come out into the light. They're not going to come out while the Lions are 10-4. Maybe they'll come in and just throw a little comment in there, SOL or something like that. But they don't actually, they don't fan for any team. They just want the Lions to lose.
Good
That's
show,
it.
brother. I got to jump off here. God bless each and every one of you.
That's Main Event Mike right there. I've got it down. It's a triple threat match. This is Lion fan right here, encapsulated into 3 pictures. You got the over-apologetic hater that says, you can't be a Lions fan. How can you be a Lions fan? You can't make fun of Jared Goff. How are you going to say Jared Goff is bad? You need to jump off my bandwagon. That's me. I admit it. But here's the thing. When Goff is playing bad, People should get to complain and become the guy on the right-hand side. And we are all of these characters. Every one of us are all of these characters, and yet we're none of them. We've been the over-apologetic Lion fan. Or you've been the complainer that can tell you,
Oh man, I can't believe they didn't run him more. Oh, he shouldn't have thrown that. Oh, if they would have only done this. And they messed up this one play, which is why they screwed up the whole game and why their season's gonna be bad. They need to fire everybody.
that's the guy on the right. He's just complaining. Why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? I'm trying to be a balanced person in the middle as a fan for the Lions. A balanced person to put it into perspective. We're at 10-4 with 3 games left. They could win 13 games. They could actually win more games than they've ever won in a franchise. This weekend, they could win the division for the first time. That it's been the North. They won it when it was the Central. That's fine. But to not have any division titles in the modern era, it's a long time coming. I don't even think you're going to get the other fan bases to make fun of us all that much. You know why? Because we haven't won. I mean, they can say, hey, it's about time. Jeez, took you long enough. And it did. But enjoy it. It's hard to win in the NFL. And when you win a game, and especially when you can get double-digit wins, that's special, man. That's a fun year for your team. This has been the funnest year that Lions fans have had in a long time. And I really hope you've enjoyed it so far. I really hope that you've taken the time to enjoy it and don't spend too much time nitpicking over the wins and how they didn't do this or that during the game. Because you don't watch all of Patrick Mahomes. You don't watch all his plays. You see his highlights, and you just assume that he can walk on water. Just because. He could, oh my God, he looks awesome on the plays that he does well. So does every single player in the NFL. They look great on the plays they do well in, obviously. But when you're only looking at highlights, see, we're invested into this team. We watch every single play. I bet you could go into Josh Allen, you could go in Jalen Hurts. You can go in and find their patches of bad plays that make them look like awful quarterbacks. When you watch every play, you end up putting yourself in this mind frame where you nitpick all of the bad stuff. And then you forget that you move up and down all year long. You go through struggles. And then you come out of struggles. Then you're playing really, really, really good. As a fan, I mean, especially now that we're fans that do this type of programming every day, if you get too hot or too cold on any of them, then you just look like an idiot. You want to fire everybody when they lose, and you go into the Super Bowl when they win. Overreactions. We are who our record says we are. And I know last year, everybody was talking about the Vikings winning those negative point differentials or whatever. But the bottom line was they won 13 games. And that's what they are. They're a 13-game winner. And the Lions are a 10-game right now. You can micromanage. You can go into all of those wins, and you can say, well, it wasn't against this, or it wasn't, or whatever excuse you have that you're trying to minimize the victories. But the bottom line is they are where they're at. They went through ebbs and flows of the season. We went through injuries. We got nailed with injuries. But they were disguised with depth. You forget about that. Okay, that was depth that saved us from that. When we didn't have Frank Ragnow, it's hard to win without Frank Ragnow. Lost 2 games, got blown out without Frank Ragnow in Baltimore. Without your best players, it's hard to beat the best teams. And getting healthy at the right time. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson coming back, that's an impact player. James Houston's going to be coming back, impact player. A lot of teams are hurting right now where the Lions are getting healthy going into the most important stretch of the year. So enjoy it, folks. Enjoy it. If you're a Lions fan, this is the best you've seen. This is the best that you've seen. It was better than at any point when Stafford was here. Stafford gave us some exciting moments, but he couldn't beat teams that were winning. Stafford doesn't go into Arrowhead and win that first game. Goff did that. Matt Stafford was great against it coming back, and I don't know why it worked out like that. I don't know why his record against winning teams were so bad. Maybe it was the pieces around him. Maybe Stafford would do way better now. But the bottom line is it's Goff that's doing well in that right now. And he deserves the credit. He's our Lion of the Week. Jared Goff. Jarris Thomas, Michael W. Smith, Goff. Fred Peterson says we are getting healthy and hot at the right time. I am happy about I am not happy about the slump, but I'm glad that it happened when it did. We got hot last week and need to keep up to get into the playoffs. We need to be hot going into the playoffs. And that's what we were talking about last week. Like, teams go up and down, you know, and like 5 quarterbacks in a row, you know, when Lamar Jackson exposed that part of the defense, the teams were using that and they were hitting that zone, that soft spot in the zone. Week after week, they were getting hit with those 20-plus yard plays. Last year, Iffy Melifonwu went back there, and those long plays stopped. So that's the beautiful thing about coaching in the NFL is they can correct problems. And if they correct them, and this team's getting hot right now, this offense will be very, very hard to stop. Players are starting to break out. Gibbs, Laporta, and Jameson are all kind of breaking out at the same time while teams are trying to key in on Amon-Ra St. Brown and David Montgomery. So there's a trick bag that the Lions have that I'm curious. I mean, I don't think that you can stop it when it's on. That offensive line plays well, it's over. It's over. And I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I'm going to sign off right here. God bless you guys. God bless you guys. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking some more NFC North. And maybe even get into some of the big NFL talk. But thank you for watching. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. God bless you guys. Hope to see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.
It reminds me of a football show, Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life.
What's going on, Russell Wayne and the Main Event 365 Network? This is Jason Kabinda from the Detroit Lions. Here to give y'all a shout out, man. We appreciate all the support, man. Know you guys are big fans. Know that you guys are rooting for us to take the North this year, and we're going to do just that, man. Appreciate you guys so much. Just want to give y'all a shout out. Y'all have a great day.